yeah. And what's your favorite word that you love to use when we're fighting?
Projecting.
You're always projecting, and I'm like, oh.
Hey, I'm Zainab.
And I'm Mia.
And welcome to another episode of Sprinkles and Spice.
And all the times you wanted to kill your sister.
So our guest today is a fitness coach, a partner at Project Workout, and she's also my sister. Please welcome Fatimah.
Hey.
I've only talked about her 1,000 times on this podcast.
Good, Yani. Good talk,
You have a
I hope.
sister?
I have a sister.
As Zainab mentioned, she
Okay.
talks about you every single episode. She has to rub it in all of our faces that you're her sister. So it's an
Don't
honor
rub
to
it
have
in
you.
your face.
Thank you very much. The honor is mine.
Today we're going to talk about having a sister, what it's like, the dynamic, and what it's like being friends with sisters or with one of the sisters. It's actually Fatimah.
So Fatimah, what is it like being my sister?
Hard.
As you can see, if
Yeah.
anyone knows us, they know we're so different. We're very different.
Yeah, we are. We were raised by the same mom, same rules.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, we shared the bathroom, but obviously
We shared a bathroom
How
for
long
the
for?
longest time.
all our lives. Yeah, like up until like the past 10 years, that's when we just separated.
Yeah. I moved into a smaller room just so I could have my own bathroom. Because I was like, I can't be a 30-year-old sharing a bathroom with my sister.
Yeah, that
So
was it.
dramatic.
Khalas. And like, what was the question again?
What's it like being my sister? What an honor.
I'm extremely honored to be Zainab's sister. It feels great. It feels amazing. And,
Ooh, I love your nails. Show the camera.
yes.
YouTube viewers, you can
And I work
enjoy
hard
it.
and I have great nails.
Yeah, she wants the world to know that she's a fitness coach who has great nails.
Yes, I am. Yes,
Yeah,
I
how do
am.
you keep them that? I'm so baffled. Like,
It's polygel.
oh wow,
They're not real.
wow.
من الآخر.
Do you want to talk a little bit about being a fitness coach before we get into the discussion?
I mean, how did you get into being a fitness coach?
Wallah, by mistake. It was never part of the plan. I didn't even think I was going to be a fitness coach ever. But like 7 years into it, I feel like it was the best thing that happened.
7 years
basically-
into it.
Yeah.
Wow. So the first 7 years you weren't happy.
No, 7 years. Like I've been coaching for 7 years, and now I feel like, okay, this is great. Honestly, I was melgufa. Like I was in the gym all the time. Whenever somebody was like doing something wrong, I'd fix it. Like أشجعهم, like encourage them. Yeah, obviously there's a difference between me and Zainab. I encouraged them, and then I was scouted by the coaches there. They were like, obviously you're here all the time, what do you do? And I was like, nothing, I don't have a job right now. And that was that. Literally, I just got trained by them, certified, and the rest is history.
That's amazing. So for those who don't know, Fatimah's actually so inspirational. Like she wakes up at like dawn. She wakes up and there's like no light outside. She
Yes.
posts her stories. It's 5 a.m. She's good to go. She trains people. Probably
I'm crying, by
workout.
the way, behind the scenes, but like
On the way there, you're
on-
crying.
yeah, but on camera it looks like I'm like have it all under
And then she's
control.
dead by 8 p.m.
Yes.
I walk into the
7:30.
house and she's like just
Dead lying
On
on
the
the floor.
couch.
on the couch with all her bags and stuff, and she's just there. And I'm like, Fatimah, go sleep in your room. And she's like,
It's a power nap. It's a power nap. It's a power nap.
It's a pre-sleep nap. You do
yeah,
them too.
It's a pre-sleep nap, yeah. And you have to do it before you climb the stairs.
Yeah, I get it.
Because if you don't, you like crash halfway and
Yeah.
that's it. Khalas. Yeah.
you're on the stairs.
Exactly.
Dead. Mhm.
So it's just to re-energize, reboot, you know? It is what it is.
She's a fitness coach, so she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
She has no idea what she's talking about.
Let's kind of get into the multifaceted nature of sisterly bonds, because I feel like a lot of people think there's a certain way that a sister bond has to be, and like that's the only way. And if you're not bonding with your sister like that, then you're doing something wrong.
I mean, I think as an only child, I definitely always envied girls that had sisters, because in my head it meant, oh, that means I have a built-in best friend, you know, like someone that's, you know,
Facial expressions. She's like,
I mean,
no, I mean like when you watch like shows like, okay, like sisters, twins, but like I don't know. I think I romanticized the idea of having a sister because it meant like you can steal clothes from each other, like you go out together, like but it's violent when the both of you steal each other's clothes. It's like screaming.
Okay, so for me, honestly, I think there's different dimensions of sisters. I feel like 2 sisters is more than enough. More than that, it gets toxic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Already it is toxic, man. In a very positive way.
I mean, if your relationship with your sister is not toxic, is it
even a relationship? Are you even sisters? Honestly, if you don't fight and kill each other, like, for example, like when we went to New York together, she was huffing and puffing the whole trip. Okay. And at the end of it, I was like, I paid for this. You better be appreciative. Smile and wave and stop huffing and puffing.
I was not
annoyed with you. I was annoyed with myself. And it was humid. I have asthma. It was 90% humidity.
Everything she has asthma. I have asthma. Shut up, Zainab.
She was huffing. It's like, the weather sucks. The bedroom is awful. I hate this bed. You're in my way.
You're breathing too loud. No, but basically, do you know, I actually heard about half of that trip because it's half because it's her version. I want to hear your version of New York, and we'll do it after the pod.
Version of New York? Well, I mean, I planned everything. After the pod, you don't want me to tell you that I planned for everything, and then she came angry. I kept sending her, do you like this hotel? Kefich. Is this hotel good? I don't know. And then she's like,
I sent her suggestions. She didn't like any of the ones I sent her. So I was like, okay, it's up to you. You're paying for the room. And she offered to pay.
You can't complain when something's free, Zainab.
That's true.
That's not true.
I agree. Call me. It's fine. We'll talk
about it. She's auditioning. She's auditioning.
So far, so good. So far, so good, Mia. So far,
okay.
So good. Okay.
So next week, you co-host.
We still didn't talk about the dynamic of being sisters.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the dynamic of being sisters, I feel like.
Yeah, it's very like a love-hate relationship. Like, I was thinking about it today where like there are moments where I really just want to kill her. And then like next day I see her, I'm like, hey. And then we just chat. But it's also like there's this unspoken rule where it's like I can shit on my sister, but if anybody
God
else
forbid. Yes. This is actually very true. If anybody even thinks about like saying something off about her, it's like I'm rolling up my sleeves and I'm like, let's
you
do
want to
this.
fight?
You want to fight?
And I feel like because she's a fitness coach, that's actually scary.
Yeah. You know that really has nothing to do with anything in life, by the way.
So you've always been violent. You've always known how to throw a punch.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love
that. She's always ready to fight.
And honestly, I don't know if it's like an older sister thing because it's not just like that with Zainab. It's also like that with my brothers. Even though they're taller or bigger than me, I still feel like if anything wrong were to happen to them, I kind of worry about them silently. And I get angry at them for not knowing that I'm worried about them, but they don't know why I'm angry. And then it's a fight, and that's where the toxicity comes in. Yeah. Did I say that right, Zainab?
I mean, I think I've told you the toxicity. I told you, like, I feel like because even though me and Fatimah are like 2 years apart, but because she's the eldest, and I think a lot of times, like, my mom kind of gave her responsibility of like, take care of your siblings, take care of them. So I felt like there was a shift in the dynamic where it was kind of like a hierarchy. Like she was kind of like sister and mom.
It wasn't just that. Like I always like remember the story when she turned 18 and she didn't like know what she was gonna do in life, and like she's like, Anna, I have to register for the university, and like I still don't have a civil ID, and she's turned 18 or something along the lines of that.
Yeah, we have
and
to
my
go
dad
get
was like, "Khalas, I've done it for the first one. I'm not gonna do it again for the second, third, and fourth. So Fatimah, this is your duty." So I was this 18 or 19-year-old driving around Kuwait City trying to figure out how to do a civil ID, and she was just walking around after me like.
she literally would just like,
Zainab, darling, Zainab, sit down. Zainab,
like,
get up.
Like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, let's go.
Yeah. I even like for the first few years, I even actually had to do her schedule for university. She doesn't want to. She wants to.
You never told me that.
And then she didn't know. And then there was this one time where I was like, "Khalas, can't do this anymore." And she's like,
"Yeah, I was so dependent on her.
Cry all the
so dependent on her."
I feel like Zainab, you're a liar and a thief. You never told me this.
Well, you know now.
I'm here to unveil
but
the real Zainab.
I became independent. Like what? When I was like 20, maybe.
After that, you stopped talking to me because you got pissed off at me because I didn't do it for you.
Because she was like, "You're out in the wild now. Just do it yourself."
At 21?
No, it was like she was 19.
No, 19.
Khalas, like I've had enough. And
I think when I started driving, she's like, "I'm done with you."
Speaking of driving, she once drove her car into a hole.
A hole?
In Khaldia University.
Wait, a hole? Wait. What?
It's this like big concrete thing. It's like round.
And how she got into it, no one knows.
I don't know how the car, because I just thought it was like the curve. You thought? And the parking was empty. And I think I was reversing, and so the front of the car hit the curb, and I was like, it's a curb, and I'm driving an SUV, so it's fine. And then all of a sudden, the car really goes up, like the right side really goes up. I didn't stop.
That was her cue to stop driving, but she kept going.
The weird part of it is that I wasn't stopping. And so the right side of my car goes like really, really up, and to the point where I'm like tilted like this. And then I just hear like a loud bang, and the car drops, but it's still
like
uneven.
Yeah, it was like
it's still uneven. And so I'm trying to reverse, but I can't reverse it. Then I come down from the car and I see my tire is between the concrete. So it's on the other side of the concrete. And it's literally like in this like round concrete thing.
It's like just hanging there.
In a hole.
Yeah.
Your car's in a hole.
Yeah. And then I called my cousin. He was in Kuwait University. Shout out Mohammed.
Poor guy.
Shout out Mohammed. If it wasn't for you, she would still be in that hole.
And you know what's so bad is that he told his friends he did it, and I was literally hiding in his car with my folder. And then they had to get like a pickup, not an ambulance.
A pickup.
What is it? Not a pickup
winch.
truck. A winch.
Winch.
What are they?
Not an ambulance.
What do they call it?
The fancy cars that pick up cars.
Yeah,
whatever.
Like a truck thing, yeah.
Yeah, and they had to like use a jack to get the tire up, and then he had to like reverse. It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Moving on from this.
And guess what? She called me. I was in a completely different location, but I had to be there. Emotional support.
Aww.
Yeah.
No, but it is actually quite insane because when I met Zainab, we were friends for like a few months before I met you.
I remember that day.
Yeah. It's such a weird, honestly, as someone with no sisters, I'm only pretty much friends with girls that have siblings. Okay. And I do end up becoming friendly with the sisters. Like I have a lot of close friendships with two sisters now.
Because you want sisters?
Well, yeah, as an only child, you kind of again with people with siblings because it's fun, you know?
I mean, we're very welcoming as well.
Yeah. You guys are so
maybe Zainab more than me, but you know.
Honestly, I'm gonna say the first time I met you, I was baffled. I was like, they could not be more different. I think you were grumpy that day. Do you remember
I'm
the day we
always
met?
Grumpy.
Yeah, this is true. She's always grumpy or napping.
I'll tell you
She's
something.
actually a bear.
I do hibernate. Yeah, that's actually very true. For me, when I'm very different than Zainab. When I'm home, I want to be alone. Zainab's the complete opposite. She likes people around her all the time. Like, it's barely you see her that she's like having her like little session of recovery where she's not with people.
Yeah.
She always has to have someone in the house. For me, if I'm home, I just don't want anyone around me.
No, but I do have my moments where I lock myself in my room and I'm
That's
just
like
like
once in a blue moon. That for me, it's daily.
She's alone.
It's daily. Like
she's a bear.
It is, yeah. Actually, my friend used to say, Aisha always used to, shout out Aisha. She always used to say, if I call Fatimah, she's not answering, I know she's asleep because she's hibernating or she's a bear. She used to call me Panda for the longest time. I really appreciate my naps.
Yeah, like growing up, like when I would go into her room, I'd ask her something and she'd be like, I don't have time for you.
No.
Like,
that's misconstrued. No. That's not how it goes. That's not how
she's
it
like,
goes. She chooses the worst times. She has a talent. She's very talented. يعني مثلا, for example, I'm like in the middle of getting ready to leave the house. I'm late. I'm in a hurry. She goes, Fatimah.
Or she's taking a nap.
Or I'm taking a nap. Even worse. And then she goes, Fatimah, is this nice? Do you like what I'm wearing? And I'm like,
why do you make me sound like that?
Why do I make you sound? Okay, so she goes like, do you like what I'm wearing? And I'm like, no. She's like, why? Zainab, I need to leave. Say, why don't you like it?
No, but I haven't done that in a while. That was like when we were biljama in college.
No, you still do that every once in a while.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. She does. I'll give you an example of like things that she does. She comes like, or I'm napping. She's like, tuck, tuck, tuck. Can I come in? Oh, you're asleep? No, I'm just chilly. Like switched off all the lights and I'm like lying in bed waiting for something to happen. Mommy. That's it.
You know what Fatimah does? Fatimah barges in.
I don't wake her up. I just take what I want and leave.
Yeah.
And you never give it back.
You know what was
That's
the most
actually also
annoying
not true.
thing ever? You know what she did one time?
Guys, this is the most insane episode. It's just the two of them saying, do you know what she does?
No, listen.
Mama,
One time, I feel like a mom right now. One time, I literally was sleeping. She used to do this when she was working. I don't know. She was working. I wasn't. And then,
as usual,
almost all the time. All our lives.
Wow. That is so untrue.
No, it's untrue.
Anyways,
she holds down like 25 jobs. Like that. I think you're insane.
But anyways, she literally would walk into my room and switch on the lights while I'm sleeping. Like no one is there. You used to do that. And then one time, literally, I had a Chanel purse. I had all my stuff in it. It was like my first, and I was like, it was
Her
my
first
prized
Chanel
possession.
Her first Chanel.
You know
We all
what she
have a
did?
prized possession,
She
yeah.
literally dumped all my stuff out on the couch, threw one of her purses, and then took my purse.
Exchange.
What? Hold on. What was the
Involuntarily
purse brand?
Obviously, something as
It
good
was
as
a
Chanel.
Fendi, I
Or a
think.
Fendi. There
Yeah.
you go.
It should honestly. You want the truth?
Yeah.
It should have been the MS. If you're trying to exchange,
I
give
didn't
her
have
an
it at
MS.
that time. This is way before I could afford one. Honestly.
she has just like one job at the time. Not now.
Yeah. Now I have two ish. I have more than one. I have.
She has
I think
4 actually.
5.
No, but like
I do everything.
I kind of want to touch on like the shift of dynamic. Like I feel like even in our relationship, we shifted from like being best friends as like kids. I think when we were younger, we were very close because we shared a room.
I don't think we were, just to interrupt, like, sorry, مقطع كلامك بالخير, I can't say it in English. All right. I don't think we were best friends, but we were, as sisters, you're forced to be in a situation where you're taking care of each other, because like if she gets upset, like at night, she's talking to me about it, I'm talking to her about it. If we're pissed off at my mom, we like, you know, tag team about how much we don't like her today, or you know, these things that they happen by default. And then as you get older, you develop characters, and then you get your own rooms, and you know,
You no longer share bathrooms.
alhamdulillah.
Your
No,
hair
it's-
is no longer intertwined in the drain.
Yeah, I think when
Alhamdulillah.
we shared a room, we kind of our personalities meshed a bit, right?
I think obviously that would happen because again, I go back into the fact that we same parents, because we're closer in age, we were raised in the same way as opposed to like the younger siblings who had a little bit more freedom, also because they're boys, whatever. But like we were raised in a very similar way. We actually had very strict parents, by the way. We
Yeah.
had they were loving, they were giving, but they were very strict. Like there were so many things that we could not do. So I think we had like a kind of like a bond over like our imaginary world
Yeah.
that we had together.
They were
About like
so disciplinary. My
yeah, we
parents
were
like-
yeah.
Yeah, all my cousins would go out and they're like, no,
But
like
why
school
not? No.
night,
It's
or
a
like
school
we're
night,
yeah, we have to sleep, like, or we can't sleep over at my grandmother's house.
Yeah, they would
Whatever.
all have like a sleepover, and it was just me and Zainab like
Yeah.
bonding at home. Like one day we'll have a sleepover. Thank God we didn't
Yeah.
go.
And then we kind of shifted. There was a point. Do you feel like there was a point we were rivals?
I don't think so. I don't think we were rivals. كثر ما we were shocked at how different we were becoming.
Yeah.
I think like it was trying to accept Zainab for developing or evolving into her character, and it's me evolving into my character.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, but we both didn't do this at one time, or we both did this at one time. But I remember Nadia said to me once, especially when Zainab like
Who's
was, like,
Nadia?
a friend of ours, a common friend. She said, but Zainab is always like that, but at home. For example, like this is a story I'm waiting to share with the public. All right. So one time,
This is about, guys, I want everyone to understand. Apparently, we're about to hear the downfall of Zainab.
no, this is actually a cute story. I think this like explains her character a lot. So we had this thing where my dad used to bring us fast food on a weekend. Was it Friday? Because Gabel, weekends were Thursday, Friday. So Friday morning or Friday afternoon, we'd have like our fast food day, and we'd have like all this food, and Zainab just wasn't coming down. Where's Zainab? Where's Zainab? Zainab was getting into character. Do you remember this day? Thing is, I think she shaved a part of her head and that she didn't tell anyone.
I was in my punk phase.
Yeah, she had a punk phase, and there was like a side of her head that was shaved, and then the other
Not
side,
shaved. It was just really short.
No, they used it. I remember they used the machine, and I was with her when that happened.
So
and I,
did you DIY your hair?
no,
I
she,
just
la, la,
remember
la.
the emo, like the punk hair,
was
where it was like
punk
all
hair,
like they
yeah.
cut it with like the razor, and it's like
Yeah.
like long on one side and short in the back.
It was like the very
Skrillex?
Paramore kind of vibe, yeah,
Skrillex. Okay.
basically. And then she painted her face white or red. I'm not sure.
No, it was white. I
Yeah.
had like very white foundation.
She had white foundation, and there were red stars all over her face.
What?
And she had like
No, don't forget the the X around my eye, the black X.
What?
So basically, it was very like Metallica kind of. Metallica is it?
No, I was into My Chemical Romance.
And she had like this.
Are there pictures?
I don't think so, but I'll look
I
for
have
them
pictures.
if you want.
I have some pictures.
She has, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put them on the screen.
Yeah. She had like her like rock band shirt on. She came down and my parents said nothing.
No, my dad at one point, he was like, I lost my appetite. He's like, I can't look at you.
But like he didn't tell her to take it off or anything like that. And she just ate her burger like it was nobody's business. Abash fikum. Zainab's attitude was always get over it. Like, get over it.
It's still that now.
It's still now.
Yeah.
I have a question. Were you guys, because you guys are so close in age, right?
Yes.
Were you guys compared a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my mom compared Zainab to me a lot because I don't like, it's not that I don't like to get in trouble. I'm mali khulq. Can't be bothered.
Well, you're napping.
Because of
You're
that, yeah.
Sleepy girl.
I like my peace. I think that's also a Libra thing. Like, I don't feel like sitting and talking and everything, like, and discussing problems. So I don't feel like arguing. Zainab loves to argue. Zainab loves to ask, why not? So every time,
Why?
But why? Why not? Why can't I do that? And so there was always the argument, and then there's like, show for your sister. She doesn't say anything. And I'm like, it's because I'm bored. I don't feel like, Zainab, khalas, we don't need to do this. So this was, I think, part of the comparisons. Me, on the other hand, if something happens, I never apologize.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very stubborn that way. So I would get in there like, look at your sister. She writes me letters of apology, and you never even look at me or hug me. Zainab hugs me, you don't. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm angry. And you didn't apologize. No, but you're supposed to apologize. I'm your mother. No. So this was like where the comparisons were like that I'm not as empathetic as Zainab, and Zainab's not as good as I am.
That's the thing. And I didn't know my mom compared us until like later, because I was always like, oh, she's always comparing me to Fatimah, and I feel like I had to be more like Fatimah. And I didn't know that my mom was comparing her to me as well.
Like, I'm like, Shofi, Zainab can cook, you can't. I'm like, I don't want to.
Then do you guys feel like you ever were competing, like whether consciously or subconsciously?
I don't think we ever competed, honestly, because we never were interested in the same things per se. Like,
I mean, maybe for you, because you're the eldest, it's different. But for me, I think it was not competing, but proving that I'm just as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah.
Well, then was there jealousy at some point?
Obviously, that happens. You can't see, jealousy happens like with everything, by the way. You can even be jealous of yourself like a year ago. I think I'm like, this is my theory. So obviously there are certain things, like I was pissed that Zainab got her first Balenciaga for free and I had to pay for mine. I was really upset. Until this day, I call my mom out on it.
Still mad.
How many years ago was this?
17 years ago.
Unbelievable.
The orange one.
Yeah. And then mine, I've like, nail polish fell on mine and like I gave it to Zainab. I was like, khas ma biha. You know, like I was so pissed off. And you know, you get these little things. Obviously there's a little bit of like method, for example, like sometimes, and I don't blame parents for this. Now as an adult I can see it, like sometimes parents like give affection more to another because they need it at the time. Zainab had like certain situations where she was like struggling at, at school, so like, and she had to wear
when you fucking paint your face white and you cry.
No, this was
when you look crazy.
Before that. She was very okay, haram, we don't always bash Zainab. We're gonna say something nice about Zainab. Zainab is very, very smart. Like she was. So this is one thing that my mom says. She's like, Zainab could do a puzzle and Fatimah couldn't do it when they were both the same age. It's like things like that. Zainab was smarter. I was not. Zainab is good at like numbers. I suck at numbers. I can't count.
You're sleeping.
I'm sleeping, basically. I'm taking a nap. I'm just thinking.
And she's checking out what the next trends are.
Basically.
Self-interest.
Basically. So Zainab like used to be like, because she was too smart for like some of the things at school, she used to cause trouble, and my mom had to constantly get off of work to go check out on Zainab. I will never forget Miss Bosworth.
It's giving Matilda.
Shut up, Miss Bosworth.
I think she died. Yeah. She was the sweetest art teacher. Anyways, and Zainab used to bully her, basically.
Because everything seemed so easy for me. And I was like, okay, I'm bored with this. So, and I was also very hyper. So I was class clown in a way. My mom, I remember, came to school and the math teacher told her she was walking on desks.
Basically.
And I was rocking chairs. And I used to walk around behind Miss Bosworth and imitate her because she used to like rock and do this like, And then she's like, Zainab, I know you're making fun of me.
But they
and then one
her.
time she told me, she was like, I love you so much, but I can't have you in my class. So I had to spend the rest of the year, like whenever I'd have art class, I'd have to go sit in the counselor's office and do my art there.
Basically, that was Zainab. So there were times when like I wanted my mom to come see like my successes at school and like my science fair. I got 3rd place and she was too busy running after Zainab. So this is where like some sort of jealousy stems when it comes to attention. And as an adult, I see it because like she only has so many hours in the day. But when I was a kid, I was like, she likes Zainab more than she likes me. Zainab gets more attention. See, these
crazy because I always thought that like my mom likes Fatimah more than me.
I mean, she did like me more, but she gave Zainab more attention. Let's just put it that way.
You know what's funny is that I think because I'm an only child, like these are experiences that I think like to you guys these are like such normal things.
Yeah.
I think we actually have no idea that that's the dynamics that siblings go through because like I said earlier, there is an idealization of like having siblings, especially I think there's an emphasis on the love between sisters.
Yeah.
And I do kind of I am curious to know, what do you admire the most about each other now? Not love, but like admire, like what's something that you look at and you're like, I really love that. Like, I love that she's able to do that. Like, that's amazing. I wish I could do that.
I think, and I say this to Zainab, and I say this to people who know, like, when I talk, that she doesn't really, she does what she wants to do, regardless. I mean, she struggles, like, she goes through the emotions, بس راسها يابس, like, she's really stubborn. She'll do it. Yeah. Like, she won't take no for an answer, basically. If I get a no, I'm like, maybe I should,
I'll go sleep.
I'll go sleep. Well, I only sleep 5 to 6 hours a day. You make me sound like I sleep 20 hours with my 30-minute nap. So it's 6.5 hours a day. There are 24 hours
because every time you walk in the house, she's sleeping.
Your timing, Inte, you're just like Zainab. Your timing is really bad.
We're night owls. Yeah.
You always come to me when I'm in my hibernation mode.
That's how it happened the first time. I don't think we've even talked about how we met. I walked in. You were like strewn on the couch. And then I was, that's my sister. I'm like, hi. You're like, hi. And I was like,
what? How else am I supposed to say? I'm like,
hi, I'm Fatimah. Nice to meet, like a normal person.
While I'm taking a nap.
Why are you taking a nap in the guest living room? guys, let me just paint the picture here. She has a whole living room in her room. Her room is actually an apartment. She could be sleeping in her apartment couch.
But
she's sleeping in the couch in the entryway.
Because I am protecting the house.
She's a bear.
I am protecting the home.
You're a hunter.
Until everybody comes in, the doors are locked, and then I go to my room. It is what it is.
Or until someone wakes her up.
Yeah. And then she's really grumpy.
But honestly, it's a very comfortable couch.
It is comfortable.
When your mom invites me to sit on the couch,
like, how am I going to leave? It's a very comfy couch.
I don't know. Do you enjoy the couch more or conversations with my mom?
Oh my God, conversation with your mom. I love chit-chatting with parents, but your mom, oh my God, the chit-chat is so good. Because she spills tea on all of you.
I was just going to say, she loves to spill tea.
And the pictures. I mean, you've done a good job at sending me horrible pictures of her. So I'm also quite thankful.
So Zainab, I don't think they're horrible. I think they're adorable. I think she was cute.
No, they're awful. They're horrible.
I've seen
it shows
the cute.
Her character. It shows her character.
The one with the glass. Oh my God.
You always make these pictures where she looks like a complete degenerate.
And keep in mind,
her hair is out
she sends it to Mia only. And then Mia shows it. She's like, haha, look at this picture your sister sent me.
I mean, she requested them.
I didn't. You just sent them.
You sent me once. Like, I want pictures of Zainab.
Oh yeah, true. That was for your birthday though.
And then it never stopped. Like she asked for it one time, and now it's khalas. It's an ongoing thing.
Once every couple of weeks, I'll just get an onslaught of horrible pictures of you that I save.
I still think they're. So shifty, like they say this method اللي شاذ بعينه غزال, like the monkey in the eye of his mother is beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's what we think. I think Zainab was cute. She was funny. I mean,
you were funny.
At the time, she was a bit much. I mean, she still is.
Every child photo I've ever seen of you, you are making the weirdest facial expression. Like Fatimah's like sitting, like, she's kind of cute, like she's smiling. She's
my mom always says, she's like, Fatimah was like a little lady.
Yeah.
She loves using that.
And then there was me.
Your hair's out of place. You look so disheveled. Your face, like, what you were looking at.
And I think crazy. This is like also another thing, like as sisters, like again, it goes back to us stemming back into like being in the same household, but our characters were visible from the get-go. Like you could totally tell. I remember when we were kids, like my grandfather like would do anything for her because she was like trouble. Like she was like a boy, she wasn't a little girl, you know. Both my grandfathers, they loved her because of that, because she was like unafraid. Insane. And I was just in the corner, I'm like napping. Like there's actually a video of me while Zainab was jumping up and down, and I'm like saying la تخافي لا تخافي.
No, she loved she always had a purse and she'd collect items in her purse and fabric. She collected.
I have an explanation for that.
Wait, what's collect? Like, are you telling me she's a thief?
No. So I had this little purse, Zain, when I was younger, and whenever my mom goes to, it was not a Chanel, it was a fake Chanel. And whenever my mom would go to Khayat, Rafiq, I will never forget that guy. The tailor. He would collect like the leftover materials for me, scraps and whatever, and he'd put it in a bag for me, and I'd pick and choose what I want, and then I'd put it in my bag. And nobody knew why I did that, but in my head, one day I was gonna have an atelier, and I was going to make clothes.
From these scraps.
And then I'd like try my best, because like at the time there wasn't a lot of creative stores where you can buy things for kids to do things like, or toys or whatever. I always wanted to, like, when I'd watch these movies, and I thought it was like, oh, if they create this magical outfit, I would be the same thing. So I always thought that like if one day I'm gonna like create an outfit for my Barbie, and obviously I never did, because everybody would make fun of that habit. Instead of asking me why I wanted to do that, they're like, oh, Fatimah, she's like she carries trash around with her everywhere.
Oh my God, there was this name I hated. They used to say, was it Salam al-Khalajin?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means like a bag lady, basically, but in like a very negative connotation. Like it's not a positive thing. And they always used to say that about me, and they would laugh at it. And then the only person who like kind of like was nice about it was Rafiq, and he would like talk to me about it. Like I think he passed away, but like this was way
everyone
way back
in the story today just
because we're old.
And I want to ask you, what do you admire the most about your sister?
Oh, she gets shit done. like she really is a go-getter. Like, I know we make fun of it, like, oh, she works hard, but she really does work really hard. And once
she works, if anyone doesn't know, she works harder than you,
harder than anyone who's listening to this.
The hardest.
No, but like she really does. Like, if you want something done, you just go to Fatimah. It'd be like, I need this, like whatever it is. Like, she's not afraid of like going after it.
Alhamdulillah.
It's kind of similar to your answer, but in a different way. I just realized that.
More for you, it's more like on a personal level. Like it's what you want for yourself. I think for me, it's like just more like tasks. Achieve goals.
So something that people don't usually talk about, I think, is becoming friends or best friends with a girl that has a sister. I don't actually think you guys understand what that's like, because obviously you have siblings. But something that, like a conversation that I had before with Zainab, is that if I felt like I was around a lot or something, I'd ask her, hey, do you think this is making Fatimah uncomfortable? Because I also didn't want you to feel like I'd come into your life and I'm like taking your sister away from you.
I don't think I ever like felt that way. I honestly, I for being very honest right now, for me, it's just like personal space. If you're with Zainab in her room and not in my face, I don't mind it. It's sort of like this.
Then don't sleep on the couch in the living room.
It's my living room. It's mine.
That's my nephew said me. That's mine.
That's mine. No, what I mean is, it's like, it's what I feel about you would be the same way I feel about Zainab. Like, if she's too much in my face, it's, by default, you're too much in my face as well. It goes. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. I actually think it's like, it's actually deeper for me than it is for you guys, because I'm actually way more at yours than you are at mine. I mean, granted, I live in an apartment, so it's like, it's not like there's as much space as you guys with the floors of a house, but something that I at least want, and I think that's something that most people that are in my situation want when they're close to a family, is that they want to make sure that when I'm in your space, I want to make sure that you left feeling like, hey, she isn't pulling us all apart. And I think when you get into an argument with her, obviously I hear about it first because, you know, like,
yeah, your besties. Yeah.
Do you know what my sister did? And like behind your back, I
hear
like,
those things, by the way, from my room. She's not really silent about it. She's not subtle. She's screaming,
Fatimah! No, but like something you don't know is we always come to the same conclusion. You do it because you love her, and you do it because you want the best for her.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that I wanted for the both of you, because I love hanging out with her and you. I love when you guys get along. Like, that makes me the happiest.
Yeah.
Like, seeing two sisters bond, it kind of makes my childhood dreams come true. Of like, yay, two sisters are getting along.
But it's also like something that, even though I have a sister, like something I do with my friends who have sisters as well. Like, I have friends, they're twins, so a lot of times I do see them arguing in front of me, but they're crazy. They're like, did you hear what she said, like right in front of me? And then I'm smack in the middle. So because I have a sister, I'm like, I know I'm not gonna take sides, first of all. And I know, like, whenever they're trying to come up with this like conspiracy that their sister is like out to get them, like, or evil or whatever, which is valid in that moment. Like, you feel it because you have such a close bond with your sister. It cuts like deeper. So you kind of have to like be Switzerland, I guess,
like,
in a way. Mediator.
And honestly, I don't think that I ever felt like anyone is taking Zainab away from me. قصباً عليها, she's going to be stuck with me for the rest of my life, or hers. يعني. I think it's just, again, it goes back to like me wanting my personal space. So if it's the same thing with you, like even with Salman, honestly, even though my brother, he has his own apartment, like, but if I see his friend's car there all the time, every day, I'm like, am I ever going to see my brother? Like, it's not about if am I going to see my brother. Is this guy always here? You say that, but you don't really mean it, because the moment your brother is with you for like more than like 20 minutes, you're like, is your friend outside waiting for you? Leave. So it's a momentary thing. But I think another thing is there's this, you can like, as an only child, there's this idea that if you have a sister, or if you have a sibling, that you're supposed to be doing the same things together all the time. And I don't think that's true. I think we grew up, we spent way too much time together as kids, but as adults, we don't want to do that anymore. Not that we don't have to, we don't want to. It's because you got to live your own life, I got to live my own life, and then we're going to have to come somewhere and talk about it together, like, oh, what have you been up to? But because we in our culture, we have to live in the same house, or we have these rules where we have to always see each other all the time, Zwara all the time, and we're in each other's face. There's never, it could like get some resentment, but as a friend, she chose you to be in her life. It's not forced. So there's a lot more in common, that when you spend time together for a long period of time, there's an understanding. You guys have more of a, how do I say this? Like, it's fluid. But with me and Zainab, because we're very different, but we're sisters, if we're forced to be with each other all the time, يعني, get out of my face, like you're in my face too much, and vice versa. But if we, which I feel like why Zainab and I, like, we have an agreement, or I don't know, we have a healthy relationship, is because I know, and I don't have to be with her all the time. But for example, like, there are moments in life where like she needs me, she'll call me, and if like God forbid I hear like she's crying on the phone, khalas, that's it. And vice versa. Like, I remember like 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I called Zainab, I was like, khalas, that's it, I'm just miserable and I don't like this life, and I was bawling, and I don't remember what happened to you, but like, she was like, here's my therapist number, call her.
No, it like, and the thing is, like, at the time our relationship was also rocky a bit, but then in that moment, like, when she called me, like, nothing else mattered, and I was like, okay, hold on. So I called my therapist. I was like, is it okay if you take on my sister? And she was like, it's fine, but you're not gonna be able to talk about your relationship with her. I was like, I don't care, just help her.
So this is what I mean, like, but as with the friends that we have, I talk to my friends more than I talk to my sister. Zainab talks to you more than she talks to me. We choose these people because we have more in common than what I have with my sister. So I don't feel like, maybe because you're an only child, so you don't understand like the dynamic of that with it. But you're never imposing. Friends are not really imposing.
No, I do have a question for you though. As an only child, like, obviously Fatimah like touched on it a bit, but like, you personally, what are your expectations of like having a sister?
I think someone you can share the burden of I mean, you said it, like complaining about your parents, or someone that understands the experience that you go through as an individual, with the family that you have, with the life that you have. Because I think that's the thing, is as much as I adore you and I love you, and I love all of my friends, and I'm so thankful for all of them, no one knows what it was like to grow up the way I did fully. Yeah. And I think a sibling might be the closest person who can. So it would be nice to sort of bounce ideas off of someone, you know? I think it would have made me feel less alone as a kid, at least.
Yeah.
You felt alone like when you were a kid? Or was it just certain moments?
I was raised, you know, with like my mom, my dad, my uncle, and my grandma.
Okay.
And the two of my uncles that lived with us, they didn't have kids. We all lived in the same building, so it was all like adults all the time. And I felt like as a kid, I didn't really connect to other kids, purely because like everyone was like white and French and whatever. And I was like an Arab kid, so it was sort of hard because I didn't understand why I couldn't fully connect. And because they were adults, I think a lot of the moments I was forced to hear things that adults are saying, and it was there was this disconnect. Like I would talk to the teacher during recess and have chats with a teacher rather than like hanging around with kids, because I didn't really know how to act with kids. Yeah. So I think having a sibling might have helped in that sense, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Probably. That's actually.
And also, as you know, we've all lost our dads here. Yeah. I would have loved to be able to talk about my dad and my experience as his daughter with a sibling, you know, because that's quite nice.
Don't you think that's also something that's beautiful, it's only yours and nobody has it? Like if you change the perspective on it.
I love that I have that, but Fatima, there's nothing like hearing my friends' stories about my dad when we're all together. Because, you know, like they'd come to dinner, they'd come home. Like some of my friends like literally almost lived with me at this point. Yeah. I like that they share, they you know, your phone shows you memories. Yeah. They'll be like, oh my God, look, this memory from your dad and you and me. And it's like, it's like the closest thing. And it's like, and when we link up, oh, remember when your dad said this at dinner? I love that.
I'll tell you something. This doesn't just apply to you as an only child. It also applies to us. You know, like you as an only child think that if I had siblings, it would be better. But I sometimes like it more when Zainab talks to me about him. It's amazing. We have these stories. We remember that we bounce off each other's like stories. But if it's someone, a friend who tells me that your dad was amazing, this, it's the same. It's a better feeling. So I don't know. Like I've obviously all my life had siblings. I was 2 when I stopped being an only child.
The good old days.
The good old days.
You would have had your Balenciaga bag for free.
I would have been spoiled, but like 3 other kids came and they took all the attention. My mom once said, she's like, Haram, I feel like Fatima didn't get enough attention. It was just 2 years. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, but yeah, you're right, you know?
No, because when she was a teenager, she was forced to kind of babysit us all the time. Yeah. Even though we were 2 years apart, I don't know, my mom really put her in that role of like, it
was the way they did it before as well. Like she was the same way, because her and my dad are both the eldest, so by default they had to take care of their siblings. Even as grown adult with families, they were still, or my dad honestly as well, was still taking care of his siblings. So I think I put a boundary. Like after a while I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not making that mistake. I was like, you guys do your own mistakes, you do you. I'm stepping out of this.
I think my mom realized that. She felt bad because she realized that.
No, she says it. She doesn't realize it. She don't think she does. She did. She did.
I actually think your experience as the eldest wouldn't then be too dissimilar to my experience as the only one. Yeah. Because there's a lot of responsibility that you take on when you're the only one, because you have to do this. Like, for example, like tax, paperwork, all of this. Like at a really young age, I realized I was able to do it because my mom was like, you have to learn how to do this. You know, like especially in Europe, like you actually have to file papers and everything. Yeah. I know how to do so much. And some of my friends, their parents still do it for them. Like especially like the younger, well, not the eldest, but like the younger ones. If you're like the youngest sister or the middle child, a lot of times like there's things that I've realized. I'm like, don't you know how to do this? Yeah. What if your parents die? Yeah. Like, do you know how to do these things? And they just don't. And I find that insane.
I'll tell you why. Also, again, not to defend parents, but like this is how I theorize everything. I think parents, when they have their first few kids, they're like so into raising strict and like they want to teach them everything. Like the remaining kids that come along, they're like, khalas, we're tired.
Yeah, by the time the fourth one rolled around,
what do you want?
Like,
you want something? Yeah, let's just get it out and
like,
then get out
I
of my
put so
hair.
much effort into the first one. Can you just teach them what we
Just,
taught
like,
you?
just teach the others.
Just pass it along.
you're essentially a miniature version of them. They put it all in there.
Oh yeah. I do notice that. Like, I have moments where I'm like, oh my God, I'm like my mother, or oh my God, I'm turning into my dad.
There's a picture I saw of you that Zainab showed me, actually, of you and your dad sitting next to each other eating. That was insane. I was like,
you're eating steak and you both
Like,
had the same, like,
it was,
Yeah. My mom always said that you loved your dad more than me, that I loved my dad more than her.
Did you, Scoop?
I don't think I loved him more, honestly. I don't think that's the right word to use, but I felt like his character is more like mine. His interests are a lot like mine, so I kind of like tried to be like him. Like, if he had, all the kids were eating Cocoa Puffs for breakfast, I was having granola and Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran was his favorite.
Was his favorite with bananas and honey, and I hated it, but I ate it because I was like, Baba, shoof. Me too.
I actually did that too.
Yeah,
I relate. It's like I would see what he finds funny and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do that so he can laugh at my joke.
Exactly. Yeah, you do that, and like I even like now I have the same eating habits, which they're not the greatest, but like even him waking up early, I do that. Him napping on the couch, it was his thing. I like do the same thing now. So I imitated him more than I imitated my mom.
Interesting how that is.
Yeah, and Zainab is more like my mom in certain things.
Yeah, but I don't think I did it intentionally. I don't know.
I think when you realize you're like your mom, you're always shocked, but you tell me, my God, my mom does this. Yeah, I can't believe I'm doing it too. When did I become my mom?
I do. I think I take more of both my parents.
You have your dad's sense of humor, from what you've told me. From what you've told me,
I love the dad jokes. Yeah, I'm like jokes. Him.
She laughs at her own jokes so
Not just
hard.
that. Like, if I like a video, I rewatch it over and over and over. You said it one time. You're like, you're just like him. Because if he likes a funny video, we're never hearing the end of it.
I thought it was a Saji thing because Hawrat does the same thing. My cousin.
But then we realized my dad used to do it. I take some traits from my dad and my mom, but I think Fatimah is more like my dad.
Yeah.
You're definitely a dad. Like, bro, every time I come into your house, like, you're grumpy, you're sleeping, or you're eating.
I'm an old dad.
And once in a blue moon, you're in a good mood, you've eaten, or you're like in the middle of eating and you're in a social vibe. You know?
See, so again, you're night owls. You see me like at the end of a day when I've given all my energy to my classes,
she went to work to feed the kids.
Work. Sorry?
She went to work to feed the kids.
What kids? You?
Yeah, Dad.
Basically, again, when you guys see me at the end of the day, your day had just started. Mine is ending, and I've already given my energy to. Again, I'm a fitness coach, as Mia mentioned a couple of times. So in these classes, I give 1,000% energy. Yeah. So by the end of the class, people still come talk to me, and I cannot block them, even if I'm tired. I don't think people understand that. Yes, I make fun that I work hard and everything like that, but being a fitness coach is a service that people are paying for, and they pay to come get their fitness out of it. They come to do the class, but they also come for the energy. They come for you to make them feel better. I don't think, and I've told Zainab this before, and a lot of people tell me, does Zainab work out? Like, has she lost weight? And I'm like, I don't think people realize that we do not work out, Zainab, me, people in general, just to lose weight and be skinny or have a certain body type. We're not all going to look like a Victoria's Secret model. We do it because we want to feel better. So as a coach, it is our job not to just walk in, coach, and leave. Anybody could just do these movements. You have to give them a sensation, like they need to leave feeling good about themselves. They need to feel like they accomplished something, because it is not easy to get up at 5 p.m. if you're like tired. No. If you're like tired and you're like had a long day at work to work out at 6, So I give all of that energy at that moment. So by the time I come home, I don't have time for you guys. Khalas. You don't pay me to come to my classes.
Okay, so if you want your sister's love, you got to pay her.
Yeah.
Basically, you got to pay me, come to my classes, come to Project Workout,
Or in your case, talk to her about fashion. This is how Mia and Fatima bonded.
Mob wife, by the way, aesthetic is in, and I don't like it.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Also, like,
I think Zainab's obsessed right now. She's happy.
She's so
Bring
happy.
out the fur coat.
Leopard everything.
Leopard
Wait,
everything.
isn't Office Siren also in?
Yeah, but Office Siren is what I'm looking
Yeah.
for.
Good.
Office
So
Siren.
have you
is-
seen 2000's Office Siren?
I lived through it. I've seen it.
Okay, so I remember. Do you remember Katya Livingston? Do you guys remember who these people are?
No.
Serena from Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
Giselle. Like the thin
Yeah.
glasses and the suit, the turtlenecks.
Backstreet
So
Boys, as long as you love me. That's Office. What's it called?
Office Siren?
Office Siren. Yeah.
Is that what the Office Siren's listening to?
Oh, the girls in the
video where they go,
were
like, they went
very
from
Office
Office Siren to
You don't
Beach
remember
Babes?
the video?
No.
They were
Of course
very
she
Office
doesn't. She
Siren.
wasn't born yet.
Yeah. True.
I was like, what? What are you talking about?
It's our generation, not yours.
Well, anyways, Office Siren is in, and
Okay.
and you know Kate, the brand.
What?
Kate.
She know how the
Khaiet.
no. Oh, okay. Is that how they say it?
T-E, yeah.
I call it khit.
It's Kate.
I mean, I Arabize
Kate the
everything.
Row. It's like the time for it, and honestly, there's so much on my Pinterest board that I want to talk to you about. So we'll
I don't think the row was ever not in time. It's just people didn't know about it. Now
People-
they're
no,
starting
but
to.
Now that it's popular, because I'm sorry, I don't have like $6,000 for like a fucking coat, babe.
One day.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
But like, now that it's like poppin', there's like so many like more affordable like dupes.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited. Like I'm
And
like,
you can also go to Blokat and then go to the Khayat and do the same thing. It's easy.
yeah, but if it's not made by Mary Kate and Ashley, it's not the same.
It is. Trust me, Rafiq is not so bad.
Rafiq, if it's Rafiq, I'll go.
Yeah.
And if you come, I'll go.
Okay, خلاص, we'll do it together.
Okay, I want to talk about something that is so important to me. The whole reason I want a sister is because I watched as a child every single Mary Kate and Ashley movie
So cute.
possible on repeat. On repeat, I wanted a twin. And like obviously,
Not just a sister, she wanted a twin.
I wanted a twin. It was so deep. Like I would watch every single of their movies and be like, "Oh my god,
We
me
had
and my twin."
remember the tape that we had where it was their songs and it's like
I am the cute one.
She's just my sister.
Okay, guys,
A
pause.
brother for sale.
Oh my God, we did that with
Only
Ali.
50
Miskin.
Guys,
guy.
do you remember The Parent Trap? with
Yes,
Lindsay
of
Lohan?
course.
Yes, of course.
As a child, I also watched that so many times that because I was like, I'm gonna find my sister at camp. My mom did not let me go to camp.
You could have found your long
I
lost
know,
sister.
so a
It's
part
all
of
because of your mom.
No, a part of me fully believes that there's a girl out there, a twin of me out
Zainab.
there. We don't.
You found her.
we
She's
don't-
Zainab.
We're not identical. She's too tall.
You don't have to be identical, but you're
I
like
want an
exactly the same
identical
Also
person.
twin.
9 years apart.
Yeah.
But you're like exactly the same person.
we are kind of, yeah.
Not really though.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
But our core,
Yeah, our
is
core
the
is
the core,
same.
like, the core is the same. Yeah.
Of course.
Your dependence on me is also the same.
She's really
You
throwing
wish.
some shade today. She took
yeah.
the opportunity to shade both of us.
Yeah. I've never spoken to you for this long for you to come out with all this hate
Because I'm
against me.
napping.
Yeah, 'cause she's napping. Go back to sleep, Fatima. Go back to sleep.
by
I
the
liked her
way-
better when she was sleeping.
Like I literally scheduled my naps if I have a long day.
So back to Mary
all
Kate. Back to Mary Kate and Ashley. I don't know. Like to me, whenever I would see that sisterly bond, I used to be like, oh my god, that's gonna be me, and we're gonna grow up to be like fashion designers and wear like the robe.
I love
and-
that. That's cute.
Yeah,
Wallah.
yeah. That was my goal in life, to have a twin. And
But you found like a semi-twin.
I think for me,
I actually did.
No, look,
Off
I
the
think
edge.
I think for me, I wanted that more than she did. Like I wanted to
Clearly,
be
she didn't
more
want it all.
dependent on her, and she wanted nothing to do with me. She wanted to be so independent, and I would get
I wanted
so
older
butthurt.
siblings. I wanted
I
older
would get
siblings.
so butthurt. I'm like, why does she not want to do something with me?
Yeah, she used to complain about how she wants to spend time with you. To me, she's trying to bond with my sister. She doesn't want me.
She's always busy Thursday nights, Fridays, Saturdays.
Yeah, but you
I'm
gotta
busy.
fit yourself in my schedule.
I
wanna
fit
spend
in-
time
I
with you,
need
but
to
you gotta make
schedule
time
my nap. You always clash. My naps and your free times are not like aligned.
You're either in Dubai or you're napping. What are you talking about?
Haram alayk, I just went once when
That
she was
one time.
available. That one time you're gonna rub it in my face. No, for me, honestly, in terms of like celebrity siblings, I think Kourtney Kardashian wins the cake. Yani, I feel
You
like
are Kourtney
Yeah, I
Kardashian.
feel like
You
when
really
I
are
look at her, I'm
Kourtney.
like, I love you. I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're Chloe. But back when she was still funny. Yeah. That's the dynamic you guys have. That is exactly the dynamic you guys have.
Nobody likes Kim. We're never. None of us are Kim.
No one's Kim.
I mean, I love Kim, but I don't think she's as funny as in a duo.
But another siblings, not sisters, siblings, like show that I loved, that I wish I was their little sister, because I always wanted older brothers, is the the Joey and the Lawrence brothers. The Lawrence brothers.
What?
You don't know the Lawrence brothers?
No.
It's Joey, Matthew, and
I forgot.
they were like, I love them. They lived in New Jersey.
You wanted older brothers?
Yeah.
Oh.
I wanted older. Like, I wanted someone to, I felt like, khalas, like, take I still do. I feel like I need someone older than me to take care of things.
She started being the man of the house.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because we're the two eldest, and then our brothers are younger. And then
they're not even in Kuwait. They live abroad. So, yani, you have to take. And then, yani, when my dad was around, it was a shared responsibility. He used to call me. He's like, this is happening. What do you want us to do? And I'm like, initially when Zainab was like out of college, and like,
so when you were 3 years old, when you started becoming man of the house.
No, this was when we were like, I was working. Zainab was out of college, like, and she was like not applying for anything. And
I was married.
She can't say it enough. You were jobless at some point in your life.
No. She just like trying to figure out what she wants to do, and she wasn't like listening to anyone. So my dad called me. We're like having this conversation, and he goes, and I remember we had an office where the middle room is. There was an office there. We were sitting there, and I was telling him. He called me. He's like, "What do you think I should do?" And I was like, "Cause khalas, like she needs to get it together." And I was like, "Stop giving her money." And he goes, "What?" I was like, "Stop giving her money, and she is going to apply for a job."
Your sister's conspiring against you.
And you know what? Is this the first time you hear of this?
Yes.
And you know what?
Scoop.
I remember that scream. Like, I felt so bad, but he was like, she's like, Papa doesn't want to give me any money. I'm like, oh man, you know what? Do this. Apply for a job and show him that you can get a job. And she got a job. She worked in NBK for a few years because of that.
He was so proud of
conspiracy.
He made me read that email when I got accepted. He made me read that email like 100 times.
You're welcome. So these are the things that I used to do with my dad to like help my siblings. So that there's that responsibility, like from the get go.
Plotting.
Plotting. Did you see how she's trying to like make it look noble?
Yeah.
You were
plotting for their benefit. Like, she came to me crying, and instead of like telling her like, oh whatever, I was like, let's prove to him that you are capable, and let's do this.
But that's why, like, whenever I'm in like deep shit, like if I'm in a crisis, I'm calling her.
Okay. If you land in
you can
jail,
call me too, Mia, by the way, if you want to. If you're in deep shit.
Much. As an only child, I actually am used to. I'm crisis man. It doesn't look good. I can manage a crisis.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but just in case, like, you need, like, I need an older sibling. If you need one, call me.
And if you need one,
you can be my older sibling.
If you need one,
we'll switch roles.
Yeah. I've been through so much trauma. Like, I'm actually a grown man at this point.
I feel like I'm third wheeling now.
How does it feel, Zainab?
No, I knew this was gonna happen because I feel like both of you. And I told you.
She kept telling me, she's like, "You guys are so something you don't understand," and I'm
interesting.
Like, yeah.
So I think Zainab befriended me, but in another version.
Yeah,
it all makes sense now.
Kind of.
Oh my god,
full circle.
Oh wait. I'm actually in between you and you.
We found the middle ground.
Yeah,
you really are. If we two merge together, it'd be
yeah, like your love of like makeup and cosmetics and stuff, and your love of fashion.
Yeah,
I don't think I have a love of
and luxury. Both of you.
Luxury. I have a love of. That's the thing. I love luxury. I don't love fashion per se.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I get it. That is exactly. That is exactly it. I love nice things so much.
Yeah.
I hate it. I wish I hated them.
But I don't like fashion per se. If that makes sense.
I mean, I like fashion.
Yeah.
I love fashion.
Fashion.
Just not
fashion.
Crazy stuff.
You?
Not as crazy as you.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm.
Did you buy that like metallic skirt or jacket or shit when we were traveling?
Almost. I went to her. I showed her this set. It's a leather, a faux leather, metallic, a pleather, metallic skirt with a matching blazer, and I'm like, look. She's like, no, put it back.
Literally, this was my face. I'm like, what?
I think
you know what? I just remembered that trip, our huge fight.
I heard about the butt, and can you tell me what the huge fight is right here,
Why
right
do you
now?
tell everyone everything? I didn't tell anyone. I just like walked.
her.
She listen. It's been like 2 months or 3 months since that trip. 4 months since that trip, and I heard that you guys had a huge fight. We never had the time to sit down and hear the huge fight. I want to hear it from you.
I just told her we had a huge fight.
Honestly,
you don't remember.
The thing about sisters is you really don't remember why you were fighting.
Yeah. Literally,
or the details.
No. The thing is,
we
we
gonna
were
kill each
fighting.
other.
We were gonna kill each other to the point my brother came in. My sister-in-law had to take our nephew out to the balcony.
Protect the
We were
children.
screaming.
Protect the child.
And no, he came in because we were screaming, and he got like really like scared, and he was trying to make jokes, and you know, like, and then my
Separate
sister, separate, and then my sister, it was getting like really heated. Like we didn't see anything. We were just seeing red, both of us. And so my sister-in-law took him, and she sat outside with him in the balcony. My brother came, and he's like, "Guys, you can't talk to each other like this. This is not okay, guys."
They were like against,
and they were like,
and then you ganged up against him and you beat him up.
No, we didn't.
That only happens in
he
movies.
just separated us. He was like, "Okay, take a moment," and then like
3 days of not talking.
she was fine. I was bawling. I don't know about you. I was bawling that entire day. I was crying my eyes out, and then the next day,
sleeping.
That is actually very true. I did take a nap after.
She took a nap. She was like, I just screamed at my sister, "I'm just gonna take a nap," and I'm like, "Ah!"
But it's
She
always
slapped the pain away. I'm not worried about you. I know
And
you
just literally,
I'm mean. I know.
no, the next day, like it's usually when we have the big fights. Like usually, if we have a fight, we're talking to each other in an hour. But if it's like a big fight,
She comes
like 2
and gives
days.
you food.
It means 2 days.
Literally
Yeah,
2 days.
It's
Like,
do you want chocolate?
yeah.
I'm gonna
Next
go
day
get,
was awkward. We're going out with each other. We're being civil, but we're not really acknowledging each other, talking to
She
each other.
doesn't exist at that
And
moment.
then the next day we're like, and then we're just chatting like nothing
nothing
happened.
happened.
It's
My
always the
sister-in-law's
case.
just looking at us like,
See,
"You're crazy."
this is where I would love to do that. That would be my style. So then we'll talk about every single thing in the world. We have to break everything that she has not done with you, because you're the older sister. I'm the younger sister, apparently. And she's like, so when you did this, I felt this way. How did you feel? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about my feelings. What are you doing? I don't want to sleep.
Zainab loves to talk about her
I want to
feelings.
sleep. I don't want to talk about this.
This
calls
is my
me-
issue.
She calls me. She's like, "Where are you? Why did you answer the phone? I was taking a pre-sleep nap. What are you doing?"
She has this thing where
I
she
was
has to
trying to
tell you,
sleep.
like she has to analyze why you are the way that you are during this fight. She explains to you in
therapises
big
you.
words.
Let us
and
sit and analyze why you annoyed me.
Yeah, and you have to listen.
What's your favorite word that you love to use when we're fighting?
Projecting.
You're always projecting, and I'm like, oh,
She loves projection.
it's her who's
All right, this
projecting.
has turned into an anti-Zainab episode. Anyways, we need to wrap up.
Anyways, we need to wrap up.
Fatimah, do you want to come sit in the middle to wrap up? Do you want to hold hands with your sister? Should I move here?
I love doing that to Zainab.
She used to make fun of me. She's like a walking dictionary.
She really is. She uses words that I have to like Google it on the phone. And I'm like, I know what that means.
I'm smart.
Because she used to be sleeping.
Anyways,
Anyways,
Okay, guys. If you're still with us, thank you so much for being
this was
here.
the sister episode. You guys now know so much about me.
that's literally all there was.
That
I
I
thought
I
we
wish
know
you
so much
didn't.
about you.
thought we were
I
gonna
feel
give
like
advice.
you taught me more about you than you ever have.
Fatma was ready to give advice. She thought she was giving advice.
Older sister, I'm like, let's talk about life. I have advice.
No, we were talking about
Okay,
me.
so
talking about
let's
Zainab.
give one piece of advice each to wrap up.
Really now? After all
yeah,
of
a
this?
piece of advice
Yeah,
for
one-
people who have sisters.
Honestly, just don't compare. Even if you are sisters, don't compare yourself to your sister, person outside of your family. Like, literally, when they say comparison is the thief of joy, it's actually very true.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say don't judge, because like I realized like at some point I wanted her to accept me, but I realized I was judging her in return. So when I stopped judging her for being different, I think we both accepted each other for being different.
Okay, well, my piece of advice as a single child, only child, is go take a nap. Doha asked a question to you
Okay.
last week.
Okay.
The question was, if you were going to kill someone, how would you do it?
And get away with it.
Yeah, and get away with it. How would you do it?
I've been watching a lot of investigation discovery. I should be good at this.
It's all my mom puts.
How would I do it?
Yeah. There's always screaming and crying.
Just like with a pillow, and then make it seem like they died in their sleep.
Oh,
so
come
asphyxiation?
on.
Yeah,
Let's smother them with a pillow.
That's
That's
you want like
brutal.
something that's brutal.
That's so brutal.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
شوي تخرع أختك.
Like it's sudden. Unless you hate the person.
Yeah, why would I kill them
who- are you
otherwise?
smothering me?
Hold on.
Who else would I kill if I didn't?
No, so that's the only way you would kill someone. Like,
How did you get away with it? I think that's so obvious. Like,
Well, John Benet Ramsey,
There you go.
she, you know,
She was killed by her brother. No,
yeah, that's what they say. Allegedly, I don't know.
allegedly. Or
Alright.
like pull a what's her face? هذه اللي دي Gypsy Rose.
oh,
Okay, just pull up a Gypsy Rose. Like she did. She got famous.
just say
And she
that.
got a boyfriend out of it.
Claim mental illness.
Claim mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
know someone in my class at uni that like stabbed his dad like I don't know how many times, and then he.
You keep telling me this story, and I can't get over it. It's so dark.
In law school, no less.
Ooh, I have a better idea. Just like
Did we inspire her?
no, I'm like a really bad driver, so I could just like crash into them and be like, oh, it was a mistake.
Okay.
A mistake.
And
What is
what's
your
your
question
question
to
to
the
the
next
next guest?
If you were invisible, who would you stalk and why?
Oh, so good. All right, you guys, that was the episode. We'll see you guys next week with another topic.
Maybe. Perhaps. Maybe I guess we still don't know.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, leave a review. And if you don't leave a good review, she's going to beat you up. Fatimah?
And join the project.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, bye, guys.